sitting in this studio with Spencer, Simon and myself. Chris Billam-Smith set to make the first defence of his WBO Cruiserweight World title against Matthias Mastanak next weekend. It's on the Sunday and it's live on talkSPORT. Chris is with us. Chris, I mean, whatever way you look at it, do all roads lead back to a fight with this man, Richard Riakporhe? We were talking about him in the break. I mean, how much do you want to avenge that one defeat on your career? And that came from him.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. It's not going to define my career, but it seems likely now that fight is going to happen at some stage, within the next 12 months. So that excites me. And it'll be a fantastic fight for the fans, I think. I think Richard's style's changed over the last few years since we've boxed, and he's made a few improvements, and I know I've improved tenfold, so it's exciting.
It would be I was just going to say, Spencer, I mean, honestly, how do you rate him? You know him inside out. Right now, how do you rate Riakporhe?
Yeah, I think he's up there with some of the best in the world. I think he's, like I said, he's improved. His variety of his punches improved. He's sort of a bit more patient than he used to be. At times he's a bit reckless, but I think he's a very, very good fighter.
I mean, you go back to, what was that, 2019? Yeah, when you both boxed, and it was I was there working that night as well, and it was a very, very tight fight. What did you win? Split decision, he won on something, or majority decision. Very close fight. You've both changed dramatically since then. You've both gone on, you've both improved. You would get a different fight this time for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've both improved a lot. He'd had a couple of 50-50s before that in Sam Hyde and Simon McCarthy, and then that was my first proper 50-50. And I think the experience we both had since then make for a fantastic fight.
You were saying to us in the commercial break, and I want it out there, that if you do fight him in the build up to it, it wouldn't surprise you if he plays a villain. If he indulges a bit in that. You don't, but you think he might. And then you told us that coincidentally you bumped into him recently.
Yeah.
Where and what was that like?
It was a night after the Chamberlain-Lawal fight. The morning after that fight. Bumped into him in the hotel I was staying at. He was walking in as I was checking out. Said hello. But yeah, he boxed last week and had some few things to say, which is always fun. Always fun and games for the cameras, and it's good to see. I think that's the fight he wants next, and obviously I've got a job to do.
But that's a path you just don't go down. You don't go down. Trash talking. Pantomime villain. I mean,
to a certain degree, no. But then, not many people have mouthed me off in the past, so you never know. There might be a few sly digs in there. We'll see.
Can't have a nickname like the Gentleman and go down the trash route. That's for sure.
That's true, isn't it? I mean, can you? Some might say, Chris, if you didn't know what you did, this guy's a boxer. Really? Seems too nice to be a boxer.
Maybe, but that's kind of why I like the nickname. It's ironic because that's one thing you can't be in a boxing ring is a gentleman.
There's nothing wrong in it, Simon, is there?
No. I mean, he's he's one of these guys that you sit across the table and you always want the best for. I have mixed emotions in this fight because I'm very fond of Richard Riakporhe. He's also a Crystal Palace fan, and he comes into the Crystal Palace song.
So that's a conversation for another day.
So that's going to put me on a divide because he comes into the Glad All Over theme tune that I played for 10 years at Selhurst Park. So I'm going to be divided on this one, mate, because I want you to be successful, but of course I want Richard. I think it'll be a great fight, and I think Riakporhe has improved a lot, and I think he let his hands go against Glowacki, didn't he?
Yeah.
Got rid of him, but he's improved massively as well.
I believe, I think ultimately what we want is the best versus the best. And I think for both of these, I think that when you're in a division, you need another good dance partner. And Richard Riakporhe, Chris Billam-Smith, I think
to win a world title and come to the table with a world title rather than
get
the opportunity.
Because
I think that makes it. Then you've got two British world champions fighting, and then the fight elevates.
Yeah, sure.
It elevates, and Richard needs a bit of help. I think with the support structure, he gets a support base because of the nature of his relationship with the town that he's in. London's slightly different, and I think the support in the fight would probably be with him,
which means the fight would probably go down there as opposed to in London.
Exactly.
I mean, you're doing it more than doing your bit for the sport, Chris. I mean, you're in it to earn money for yourself and your family, but from the sports point of view, it's a big night, tickets sold out like that, and that's terrific. When you cast your eyes elsewhere, like the Saudi event 2 days before Christmas Day on the 23rd. Joshua's there and Wilder's there, but the two aren't fighting each other. What's your take on that?
Well, if they both win, hopefully they both win, then it makes the fight even bigger. If they both come out of superb knockouts, it makes the fight even bigger between them two. But both in risky fights, really risky fights. So I rate both Wallin and Parker. And I think Parker's sort of got a new lease of life. So it's a dangerous fight for Deontay, I think. And but if they both come through, then it makes the fight even bigger. So at the end of the day, it is a business.
I mean, more recently, Fury got rid of Ngannou, but it was quite an effort and won it. So when you look at the heavyweight division, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, for years it's been a lot of talk and a lot of hype, but not much has been going on. Now it looks like next year we're going to get Joshua, Wilder and Fury and Usyk. And then, when they're in the ring with each other, then brilliant. That's what the sport wants and that's what it needs. The heavyweight is the division that everyone loves.
Yeah.
For right or wrong reasons, however you want to look at it, they're big superhumans almost, fighting each other. So that's what people want to see. And it'll be exciting to see them all in the ring.
Chris, what's your feelings on these big fights now looking like they're going to be out in Saudi for the foreseeable future? I mean, what's your feelings on that? We got Jai Opetaia obviously boxing out there on the undercard as well. Is it something that if you got mixed emotions about? Is it something that you sort of agree with? Would you like to go out there and be a part of it?
Like I said earlier, I got into sport because of atmosphere. Yes, it pays bills now, but the atmospheres out there haven't been great. From what I've seen on TV, I'd rather fight in the vitality again. 10 times over than fighting out there, to be honest. And obviously now I'd like to put Vegas on the bucket list. It's not about just going somewhere just for money for me. It never has been. And I think that's it seems to be the reason that these shows. There's no way you can put a show on like they're putting on without a huge amount of money. So fair play to fighters. I'm glad that fighters are getting paid well. Because they deserve it, because it's a hard way to make money.
You've been brutally honest there, Chris. You're going to give us a different answer in the commercial break.
No, honestly, no. I'd rather fight in Bournemouth for the rest of my career. If I had a choice between Vegas or Saudi, I'd choose Vegas, even if it's for less money, because it's sort of been the dream, or not the dream, but another dream.
I love that as well, because
brilliant.
A young fighter growing up,
Brilliant.
their dream is always to top a bill out in Vegas or here at Wembley Stadium or whatnot. And Saudi's just come in, so it's very honest, and I like that you're following your dream.
Yeah, and you mean it. And that's the main thing. Listen, AFC Bournemouth doing all right, are they not?
Yeah.
Under Andoni, you comfortable? Iraola's the man.
Yeah. He's I think start of the season we played well, but the results weren't coming in, and then we had a bit of a rough patch where we weren't playing well, and we were losing quite a few games. But now, sort of coming into fruition. Obviously, good. 3 in our last 4, is it? We've won. So
Sheffield United comfortably, didn't they?
And playing well. Beat Newcastle, although the right time to play Newcastle, but it really, really solid performance. I was at that game. The lads are flying. So can't wait to get this fight out of the way and get to a few more games over Christmas.
Sure. So it's Villa for Bournemouth next, and for you it's this Polish fella Mateusz Masternak. Just before you go, tell us what you will bring on the night. What can you promise fans are going to pitch up?
Unbelievable atmosphere. That's what the fans will bring you. Then for me, I believe a career best performance, and I think that's what's going to be needed on the night because of how well rounded he is. So I'm excited. I'm excited to put on a show.
Brilliant, Chris. Thank you so much, mate.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate when you come in. Chris Billam-Smith against this fella Masternak, and it is live on talkSPORT. Remember, not on the Saturday night, on the Sunday night next weekend. We eagerly await it.